I'm Tashi, and welcome to my home. I have my biggest market of the year coming up in a mere 4 weeks, which means we are in full market prep mode. And specifically in today's video, we're prepping beanies.
I love yarn. I love yarn. I love yarn. I love yarn.
Since opening my yarn shop, I really haven't signed up to do many in-person shows simply because it's really hard for me to kind of be away from the shop. Then I have to find somebody to cover the shop for me. So it's just usually not worth my time. However, there is one show that I did last year for the first time called the Sidewalks Arts Festival, and it is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and it is my favorite. I grew up going to this show every year with my mom. I remember it so vividly, and it has just continued to be one of like the best art shows of the year in my area. And so I did sign up again this year to be a vendor. So I'm going to be selling all of my Tashi at home wearables and crocheted items at this market. Maybe a small selection of my hand dyed yarn, but that's not specifically my priority for this market because the weekend after this show, I actually am doing my first fiber fair. So I'm trying to kind of hoard all of my hand dyed yarn for that. But I really need to enter like full on market prep mode for this market because I kind of found that last year I wished that I had more inventory than I did. So that is going to be the goal over the next 4 weeks. Every week we're going to be focusing on a different item to prep for this upcoming market. And this week, I don't know why, but I'm just really feeling like prepping beanies. I have all of this yarn sitting here that's specifically for beanies that I kind of stole from my shop. I've got a lot of other colors sitting on my shelf. I want to do some hand knit beanies. I love Passionate Kelsey's double-stranded knit beanies. They're really easy to make. They're fun. So I'm probably going to do a few of those. But then I also like using my Centro to just kind of crank out beanies. So we'll probably do that as well. However, I am not sure when we're going to have time for like a full beanie hand cranking session because I am a very busy lady and I'm not sure if I want to haul my knitting machine all the way to my shop. And today is Wednesday evening and I am actually about to head to the shop because my featured artist of the month is hosting a watercolor class. So I do want to bring some yarn with me because while the class is going on, I'm going to have time to just kind of hang out and knit because I am not participating in the class. So I'm going to bring probably just enough to make one beanie with me. And then we'll kind of go from there. I mean, I might just be making a lot of hand knit beanies during this vlog because it's something that I can take with me to the shop and do while I'm working. But I don't know, maybe I'll feel motivated enough to bring my Centro with me at some point or set it up in my living room one of these evenings and just crank out a bunch of beanies. We'll see. But either way, I do want to make some on my knitting machine and then I do also want to hand knit some. So we're gonna see how many beanies we can get done together in today's vlog. So before we get started, make sure you put your guess in the comments below and we'll see who guesses the closest. All right, before I hit the road to head to my yarn shop, let's pick out some yarn for our first hand knit beanie. Okay, so the first one that I think I'm going to try is this guy. This was actually donated recently by one of you guys, I believe, and I love it and I think it would make such cool beanies, but I'm not sure if it's gonna work for the hand knit beanies, so I kind of want to test it out. So I am gonna bring these two cakes with me to the shop, and I think I have a full skein of it so I can show you what it actually is. Yes, I do. So this is Red Heart Bright and Lofty. So it's definitely like a vintage yarn and the color is bikini. I love that. So as you can see, I did snag all of these colors because I was just like, they're so fun and funky and I feel like they would make really fun beanies. So I want to try that. I do also have a cake of it in this like black color. So I didn't know if maybe like pairing them together would be kind of cool. So maybe I'll bring the black just in case I do end up double stranding them, just to have some options. But in case that doesn't work up well, I do just want to bring a couple skeins of worsted weight that I know will make a cool beanie. I did recently purchase this fun guy from Michaels, specifically with beanies in mind. So I think I'm going to take this one with me. This is the Big Twist yarn in the color Happy Rainbow. Happy little rainbow. And for a color pairing, I do want to do pink. I think this one matches it the best. So this is another Big Twist, and this is the color Medium Rose. So I think that'll be a really cute pairing. Obviously, I'm feeling pink right now because like all the yarn I'm bringing is pink vibes, but I mean, can't go wrong with pink, right? So I'll bring all of that with me tonight to the shop. I gotta find my knitting needles. They're around here somewhere. So I'm gonna hunt those down before we hit the road, and I will probably meet you at the shop to start on our first beanie. Well, beanie number one is done and is so stinking cute. I am kind of obsessed with this color combo. And then I have these really fun, just kind of rainbow-ish pom-poms. And this one just complements the colors of the beanie so well. I also got my tag put on the beanie. So she is like 100% officially done. So I definitely want to make a couple more of these. I do have, I think, enough left of this yarn to make another one. And I was thinking as I was making this one that it would be super cute to pair with black. So I think I'm going to grab a black to bring to the shop. I do still have a decent amount of this pink as well. So maybe I'll try to find something to pair with the pink. I am thinking I'm going to bring my knitting machine to the shop. I just have a feeling deep in my gut that it's going to be a super slow weekend because last weekend was like a huge event at the shop. So a lot of people came out for that. And it's just kind of gloomy today, like a little bit rainy. So I'm going to honestly be surprised if I get any customers today. So I am going to just kind of plan to get a lot of work done at the shop this weekend. So I'm planning to pack my knitting machine. I'm gonna grab some more yarn to bring to whip out some beanies on the knitting machine. And I also have a lot of scrap yarn at the shop that I'll probably dig into for the beanies as well. But that's the plan for now. That's your little catch up. I'm just so happy with this beanie though. It's so cute. Okay, I'm gonna go get ready to go to work and I will touch base with you guys later. I was going to pack up my bag and then I realized I forgot to tell you about this yarn. So I definitely tried doing a double stranded beanie with this yarn, which I knew was risky because this yarn is, I think, a little bit thicker than worsted weight. It was too thick. But it's also just a really hard yarn to knit with because it is so textured. So I'm probably gonna pass on knitting with this, but I was thinking about maybe looking up a crochet beanie pattern and trying that out. But I think for today, I'm just gonna focus on the knitted beanies, both hand knit and machine knit, and maybe we'll try something with these later this week because I do love them and I wanna give them a try. But I was also thinking they would also make really good like headband ear warmers, which is another thing I should probably prep more of. So I don't know, we'll see on that. But we're gonna focus on making the beanies today. So just wanted to tell you about that in case you were curious. Well, I officially finished 4 beanies that I took home with me for sale, even though technically I made 5 because I did make one at the shop yesterday that was specifically for the shop because I'm thinking about teaching a beanie class in a couple of months. So I was just kind of, your tail is always in the way. So I was just kind of playing around with some ideas, and then I'm going to keep that one at the shop for a window display because I like to display the different classes in the window, like the different products of the classes that I'm offering in the window. So anyways, that one's not technically for sale, but I did make 5. So I ended up making 3 reversible beanies. So there's these 2 guys, and I did just use the 1 yarn for this, but I think it's so interesting because, like, look at how it pooled at the beginning of the skein, and then you flip it, and then at the end of the skein it kind of changed its pooling pattern a little bit. So I think it's kind of fun because you can wear it like, you know, it looks different when you wear it both ways, and you can wear it either way. And then I did this guy, so you can also just wear it plain purple with like a cute little colored rim. And as I'm doing this, I'm totally realizing that my tags are not the right tags, because if you flip it upside down and wear it like this, then it's not the right way. And I'm out of the tags that are the right way for these beanies, so I'm gonna have to order more of those. Good thing I caught that, so I'm gonna have to take the tags off these beanies. But then I made this one, which is also really fun, and I did add some stripes to the other side. So when you wear it this way, you kind of have some fun striping. So there's that guy. And then this was my hand knit beanie, and I just used a bulky yarn for this one, and I think it turned out super cute. I did add a little pom-pom on the top. So we officially have 2 hand knit beanies, and then 3 that were knit on my knitting machine. And again, I'm heading to the shop today. Also still very gloomy and dreary outside, so again, I feel like it's gonna be a slow day. It was 100% a slow day yesterday. I completely called it. The only sale I made yesterday was to my friend who came in to have a glass of wine and just chit chat with me for a little bit at the end of the day. But, you know, at least I'm still being productive while I'm there. So I'm fine with it. It's just good studio time. That's kind of my plan for today as well. Although tonight is sip and stitch night, and I know people will come out for that, but that's not until the end of the evening. So I'm not sure how many people are going to come in throughout the rest of the day, but have a feeling it's not going to be a whole heck of a lot. So that's your update. I might try to grab some more yarn from my stash to bring to use on the knitting machine at the shop. But other than that, I think I'm going to order some tags so I don't forget to do that. They're for sure not going to get here before the end of this vlog, but at least then I'll have them before the market, hopefully. They usually take a couple weeks to like print and actually get here, but that is your update and that is the plan, and I will catch you guys later. Well, hello there, everyone. It is Saturday evening and it's time for a little update. So, I was so productive yesterday because once again, I totally nailed it. The shop was super slow yesterday. So, I was able to get a lot done. I finished 5 beanies again. So, I did 4 on my knitting machine and then hand knit 1. And I'm obsessed with this one. Can we just it is so good. It turned out so cute. So it was the exact same like fun colored yarn that I used for this one, but I paired it with the sparkly black, and I love them both so much and they just hit so different. Very much happy with both of these. So I obviously just have to get the tag onto this one. I did order tags for all of these beanies and I ordered some different colors, so I'm a little bit excited for that, but obviously those are not going to be here for a couple of weeks because they're custom made and whatnot. So then the ones that I got done yesterday, I did this little number, so it's just completely yellow on the inside. Very cute. I did actually hand knit a beanie like a while back in these same colors, so I just like double stranded it, and so I think this is fun to have like a machine knit one too. I did this guy, which this one, the first time I tried it, the blue just got messed up on the knitting machine, so I had to unfortunately undo all of that and then redo it. And the second time around it worked out just fine. Sometimes my knitting machine is weird, especially because I use the drill to kind of speed up the process, but second time around nailed it. So it turned out super fun. I absolutely love it. Then I decided to pull out my scrap bin because I love making scrappy beanies. They are one of my favorite things to make. And I do all of that by hand. I don't use the drill when I do the scrappy beanies because I like to count the rows. So here was one that I did. I think this was my second one I did actually. I did like different lengths of rows for the different colors, and it's different on both sides. So you can wear it obviously you can wear it a couple of different ways. There's that way, which is very, neutral toned. And then if you flip it the other way, you get more of like the brown and green kind of peeking through a little bit. So I thought that was super fun. And then this was the first one that I did. So this one, I think I did even rows for each of the colors, and I kind of did an ombre. So you can see it's kind of like blue and green on this side, but then you flip it and then you have neutrals on this side. But again, if you want the little brim, that's what that one looks like. And then that's what this guy looks like. So just lots of fun different ways to wear these. I have so much fun with these. And then last night after I got home, I made the mistake of having an energy drink a little too late in the afternoon, and I should know better because I'm old at this point and I just cannot handle my caffeine. So I was like kind of wired when I got home, wasn't ready to go to bed. So I made an ear warmer headband. Unfortunately, it turned out really big. It's my pattern, but I used a different yarn than I use for the pattern that I make, and it was obviously late at night and I just wasn't like super paying attention, so it ended up being pretty big. But some people have big heads, so there we go. I'm like, maybe it'll fit somebody, and I encourage people to like try on stuff in my booth, so I made that guy. And then this morning when I was chatting with my mom on the phone, I made this guy, which turned out much better. I honestly think this is maybe child-sized. It's a little snug on me, I will say. I think it would be much better on a small child. So I just kind of have an oversized and then a too small sized. So maybe next time I'll find a happy medium. I did like 60 of the base chains on this one and then 50 on this one. So I think I need to do 55 and then we'll be right at that sweet spot. But made both of those. And then today I only got one beanie made. And I only got one beanie made because first of all, the shop was actually pretty busy today. I don't know what's been going on, but like lately on Saturdays, the shop is just extra busy, which up until this past month, it's been the opposite, where like Saturdays have been the slow days and the weekdays have been busy, but that's fine. The joys of business ownership. You never know what's gonna happen. And then a couple of my friends also came to the shop and hung out for pretty much the whole day today. And I'm actually working on writing a pattern with one of my friends that came. So she and I spent the whole day just working on writing the pattern. I'm so glad we did because we are this close to being done with it. We're hoping to finish it up this week and I'm super excited. So I did only get the one beanie done today, but I made another scrappy beanie and I made it out of some of the scraps from this guy. So here's how she turned out. Here's the one side, super fun. And then here's the other side, also super fun. And again, if you want to do the little brim situation, there's what that side looks like. And here's what this side looks like. So yeah, it just turned out so cute. I absolutely love it. So we are going to wrap up this vlog here because I have to focus now on finishing that pattern that my friend and I are working on. I'm realizing my hair is crazy, but I've got a lot of yarn to dye for a fiber festival coming up. So we're gonna wrap up our beanie making at this point. So in total, we made a lot. Okay, let me see here. Let me kind of just let me lay this all out and we'll count and see how many we actually did. Yeah, I feel pretty good about this. This was a very productive few days. So in total, our beanie count is as follows. We were able to hand knit 3 beanies, which I think all turned out so cute. And I do charge more for these because they obviously take longer. So I think I literally don't remember. I can't remember if it's 35 or 45 or 40. It's somewhere in that price range for these guys. I think it's 35. That feels right to me. So got 3 of those made, which is great. I got 2 of the ear warmer headbands made, and I think I charged 20 for these. And then the piece de resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 8 beanies knit on our knitting machine, and they're all so unique, so fun. So in total, we have 11 beanies and 2 ear warmer headbands. And I just absolutely love how these all turned out. I'm so excited. So you guys should let me know in the comments which item that we were able to get accomplished this weekend was your guys' favorite. And also in the comments, let me know if you guessed the number correctly. Quite frankly, I think this is about what I expected I was going to be able to make. So I feel really good about where we're at. But also take a guess as to what item we're going to be focusing on making in next week's vlog. Thank you guys, as always, so much for being here. I wouldn't be doing this without you. And I will see you next time for another crafting adventure.